So my man Zohran Mamdani has won the Democratic primary by a landslide. He's performed better than anyone expected. Initially, when he started, nobody gave him any chance. There was no hope. But then this 33-year-old guy with a degree in Africana studies, a former rapper, if you will, right? This charming, polite, likable individual comes out, runs this magnificent campaign, a campaign I haven't seen, honestly, since the Obama days, to be honest. Someone young, someone who brought energy to it. He walked down, throughout Manhattan, throughout New York. And he was fearless, really, in his approach. And I think that audacity was something that really appealed to people. And I think more than anything else was the positivity he brought. I think people, especially in the US, are so sick and tired. They're coming off this brutal hangover of the war on terror days, where there was constantly this fear-mongering that was taking place. People are tired of that. And what is now emerging is this new class, perhaps, of socialist Democrats, really. You've got the AOCs, and you've got the Talibs and all of them. And then you've got this guy. Who was eventually endorsed by a lot of the senior leadership of the Democratic Party, someone who they felt could really energize the Democratic Party itself, which had been lacking color, lacking energy for so long. And then what you saw, I think, what he was vilified most for, turned out to be something that really was a strong point, given everything that's happened. Right. First, the baggage of a Muslim brown man being elected potentially as mayor of New York after the issue of 9/11, which still is in people's memories, was just so out there. It just was so unbelievable. But this man, he took that on. Then the issue that came about was his support for the Palestinian cause. And of course, the first thing that comes up whenever a brown man stands up to say anything is that you're anti-Semitic, right? And they use that against him. And despite all of that, New York City, which is, the 5 boroughs have about 12% of their population are members of the Jewish community. The greater, New York metropolitan area has about 25% of all Jews in America live in that area. So it is the highest concentration of Jews outside of Israel. And yet he won in areas which had, Jewish members of the Jewish community living there, and they voted for him. So there had to be something that they saw which the media or which, Stephen Colbert or whoever you want to bring up here were not able to, scare people into believing. So his support for the Palestinian cause, and I think especially the last 2 years with Gaza and what Israel has been doing, I think this also had a major factor to play into this. Now, of course, he's not across the finish line as yet. He still has, the mayoral election itself, but it's going to be a really interesting contest. We still, there are people who are saying that Cuomo might even stand as an independent, as a spoiler within this entire thing. So we don't know what's really going to happen. But what we do know is that he has changed the Democratic Party, and I think he's done that for the good. What is really interesting is the approach he took when it came to his policies. One is all the politics around it, but the other is his policies. He's talking about free transportation, public transportation for New Yorkers, government-run grocery stores, freezing rents in the area, and he's talking about paying for these the way that a welfare state needs to pay for these, which is taxing the rich. And he's talking about, a tiny increase in tax for the ultra rich in people earning more than $1 million a year. And so I think that really threatens the people who've been giving a lot of the money to Cuomo and to others in this race. But he stood out, and he was able to win through public donations and not really through super PACs like that. He is also, I think, fundamentally the antidote to Trump, to MAGA. He is the polar opposite. He has the ability, I think, to challenge what MAGA has become and what it continues to, push. Again, more fear-mongering, this right-wing ideology that is dirty, that is, has really stained and really, really left a bad taste in the mouth of the left in the U.S., but also, general citizens, especially after, this recent Trump victory. So he is, I think, the antidote there. And he really, truly represents, I think, the ideals that the American state was founded on. And a return to that is something that I think the people are desperately, wanting. that politicians who have been playing games with the public, or who have been shifty characters, things that Biden did in his last years. The reason why people didn't trust Kamala Harris, because they couldn't trust these individuals, right? And so they've lost that credibility. Here's a young guy who is coming in with a clean slate, and I think he's able to make a difference. So I am extremely happy. This is one of the silver linings in all of this that you see, and I really hope he not only wins the mayoral election, but also goes on to do much better things within the Democratic Party, and maybe, who knows, a brown man becoming president one day of the US. Thank you.
The revolution will be live.